Hi everyone, this is Joseph, giving you an update about my condition Scleroderma and all the things that go with it. Today I'm going to be talking about Raynaud syndrome and managing that during winter, and just giving you an update about how I manage it this year compared to last year. And now I was doing really well recently, up until recently. Started a new job, been thriving. If you remember last year, I couldn't work 5 days a week. It was really tough. And the year before that, like, it hurt to open a door. I was so inflamed. I couldn't walk. I couldn't go to the grocery store and just walk on my own. It's a struggle. It's a constant struggle. Now, it is true I've lost a lot of weight. I still struggle, you could tell, with my swallowing. But I would say for the most part, 80%, I've been thriving. I've been exercising every day on my bicycle. I have my saying here. I don't know if it's backwards. Oh, it is. Do it now. Do it now. That's my saying. Hazlo ahora. I have in Spanish and bilingual. Do it now. Because if I give myself the opportunity, it's always going to be like, I'm tired. And that's the thing you struggle with. I was on the exercise bike yesterday, and it just felt heavier than the day before. I'm like, why is this so much difficult? It should be eventually easier. And I think that's the thing with Scleroderma is, sometimes your just muscles don't work like you want them to. And you could see the skin tightening here, which I'm working on, Up until I say, mid-January, I've been doing really good. But I live in Washington, D.C. area, and there was a snowstorm that brought extremely cold, single-digit degree weather in Fahrenheit to the area. And that absolutely devastated me. Not only did it ruin my motivation and cause problems in my family, but it also caused my symptoms to get worse. And so it was, January, it was a full week. It was the week after Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. And so we got that Monday off, and then the Tuesday, and then the Wednesday. It was great having snow days. But the problem was it was so cold. And you could heat a house up. This is the thing with Raynaud's. You can heat a house up, but the overall feeling is cold, if that makes sense. Like, unless the whole place is heated, you're going to struggle. So it's kind of like if I'm in a cold room, but I have a space heater, it's still going to be hard to heat up my fingers. It's a lot about your core body temperature that affects Raynaud's, what I've learned. And so what I do is I layer. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's minimal. And this place is warm, so I'm, very appreciative of that. And I also have a space heater. I'm not saying don't use a space heater. A lot of times I'll just go in my car and that's like the best place. Because if I'm in my house, and it's the United States, it's just bad insulation. It's just not, that's normal. Like, you can be in a house and there's still a little bit cold no matter how high you put the heat. And so that was a struggle that whole week. And my wife's coming down. I was like, are you interested in painting the house? Because we were in the process of painting the house. And my answer inside my, heart was like, no, I want to sit here and be cold and struggle. And my wife doesn't understand. It was stressful because I'm trying to go around the house painting. My fingers are falling asleep. My feet are falling asleep. And, my wife married a man. She didn't marry a young little boy who makes excuses. And so I'm trying to push myself. But on the other hand, it's like I can do it. I don't want to do it. It sucks doing it. But also the motivation, it's like your motivation goes when you're really cold. And I don't know if you've noticed this, if your hand is numb, it's just hard to focus on anything else. And so it's something you can push through, but it's like my depression really And good for me, I got off my depression medication a couple months ago, but it really started coming back. So I'm really having to like do like my own therapy of like, okay, Joseph, you get through this day. But during those days, during the snow day, the snow week, it was hard to get up in the morning. It was hard to change my clothes. It was hard to do activities with my son. My son was home, he's 2. And I could play with him and stuff, but it was just like it was a struggle because it's like, can you take him places? For the first couple of days you couldn't even leave the house, but it's cold in the house. And so what did I learn from that? Well, number one, I should have had more layers of clothes on. I should have been more ready, and possibly worked in specific areas of the house that are warmer, like upstairs in the second floor. Probably communicated better with my wife about how I was feeling, because I try to hide that from her. I try to tell her, no, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Maybe, it depends on your wife or your spouse. Luckily, we had these awesome friends who came over Saturday, and they helped me paint, and like they basically did majority of the work, and it's really humbling. It's really humbling as a grown man not being able to take care of yourself, right? Or your family or your house. So I'm just blessed that they were able to come over and help. But if I went differently, I would have more things at my disposal. Heated gloves are great. They're a pain in the ass. But what's been working for me recently is this. These are like that hot hands that you have with the rocks, those little rocks inside, but it's like electronic. It heats up too good. Sometimes I take the bus to work, and it's really cold. So that's been helpful. But overall, it's been a downturn because I think I got like a common cold or infected, and it affects my lungs. And if your lungs are already at a certain capacity and it goes lower, you're going to be starting to like struggle to breathe and talk, and that affects your ability to like socialize with people, because you're walking around and you're like, okay, do I have enough air to make this conversation, and do I have enough air to pay attention while I'm also kind of focusing on breathing too. My mouth is stiffened up a little bit, and you kind of see like indents in my cheeks a little. So that's been really tough. So I think the one thing about this disease is cold weather is absolutely kryptonite. I don't know. The best thing would probably be to move to a place where there is no cold weather like this. But compared to last year, I've done great. I did have cold spots, but I didn't have any, only very minimal, what's it called? Scarring or ulcers. Last year I had an ulcer here, and you can go to my channel, check it out. It was huge. This finger is still numb, completely numb, and this finger a little bit too. And that affects my ability to play guitar. That affects my ability to, pick my nose, because I can't feel like the boogers when I'm going in there, or pick my ears, or flick things. Right now, and I remember last year and the year before that, all my fingers being super tight. Doing this was super hard. Now, for the most part, I didn't have any of that. Right now, this one is super tight and hurts, although it's gone down today. And these fingers are all good. They're all good for the most part. Now, I do have like little tiny things, like my thumb here, you could tell, but it's not bad. Compared to last year, I mean, they hurt so bad. They hurt so freaking bad. So I'll take it. It's an improvement. I'm able to exercise and even run and do the motions. And so that's been good. But it coming out of that, I realized like, putting a coat on. I put a coat on like an old man now. My muscles are stiff. And so I think, I don't really have a complete answer on how to solve it. other than, hibernate and exercise. The one thing when my hands and fingers and toes were numb, what I did is I exercised with my bike. I got an exercise bicycle with like areas to do weights at the bottom and places to do weights here. And I just been pounding that out. And it's depressing, dude. You see how skinny my arms are now. You see how, you can see that. It's like an old person. I'm going to get it back. I'm going to get it back. And I haven't had hair loss, so that's great too. But it's an absolute struggle. And so I'm not sure if I have a solution for you guys. The whole point of this channel was to give you my experience. And if you're struggling right now, if from this man, this is my 4th year of scleroderma. This has been my best year on scleroderma, surviving the winter. It sucks compared to any other winter without scleroderma. But this is a cross I bear, and just been praying a lot lately because I feel my own mortality. And it sucks. I got a 2-year-old kid, I got 2 daughters, 14 and 10. I got a wife that I want to take care of. And sometimes I don't feel like I'm going to make it. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm going to be alive that long. And I really feel guilty about my disease and like some of the choices I made in my life. And that's where the spiritual part comes in, just asking God for forgiveness. And just, accepting where you are in life. I work in a place where people have disabilities and special needs, and I'm one of those people too. And, I have to ask my daughter for help to put my coat on. I have to sometimes get help because I can't pick up my son. Like, I can't physically lift him up because my muscles are destroyed. Now I'm building them back. I think I can build them back. But it's hard. It's hard. I work a hard job, a good job. I love this job. I'm so lucky that I'm blessed to have a place where I love to work. It's tough, man. It's a teacher job with all that stuff. So after a full day of work, I go home, and then I got to be a dad and a husband full time. So, and I live in DC, so the traffic is terrible. So I work all day, come home, and I don't get a time to exercise until like 9:15. And so I go to bed at 10. I got to wake up at 5:30. For someone with scleroderma, autoimmune conditions, that's not enough sleep. So it's like, what do we do to push on? What do we do to make things right? And just, with my health, you can't not exercise. Do it now. You have to exercise and you have to eat right. Those 2 things are the best medicine. I don't care what nobody says. Like, you can take methotrexate, you can take medicines. But I've read stories like methotrexate don't work, this don't work, that don't work. And it's, a lot of that's true. What works for sure is exercise. What works for sure 100% of the time is eating, quality food with protein and low sugar, preferably no sugar at all. And so read about it. Read about carnivore diets. Read about keto. Read about low carb. I think we could all agree that low carb is probably best. Because, autoimmune conditions start in the stomach. And, I could share a picture, if you're interested, of my muscle loss. This is a lot. But, now with the conditions a lot less, we can do the rehabilitation. We can do the maintenance. We can do work. But as far as Reynaud goes during the winter, this has been the best year for Reynaud, and it sucked too. But it's been overall a lot better. I remember last year, and you saw those videos, I would touch something and it would hurt so freaking bad. where I was miserable. I couldn't exercise. I just couldn't do it. I was depressed, even more so. And I was just no good, no help to anybody. And now a lot of that's changed. So stay positive, guys. Reach out to me if you have any questions. And I'm hoping to use this channel a lot more in the future, post a lot more videos, because I'm going to be really, really proactive with this condition and really take it to full gear. So I love you all, and like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Be excellent to each other.